So one of the other changes that we've already talked about is putting the 65 gated Y onto the Cleveland load. So we're taking it off the 65 and we're putting it on the 45. And we've done this for a couple of reasons. In the event that you're using the Cleveland load for a 3-story walk-up, by putting that gate now on it, which you're supplying with your 65 off the truck, now you've got the potential to run another backup line, Cleveland load right off of it. So it works really well that way. The other nice thing is it protects the threads. And I'll kind of touch on that a little later. You'll notice we've got a new nozzle. So we're replacing the existing Cleveland load nozzles with the new Task Force tips. And basically what it is, it's a breakaway style nozzle. So in the event that you're dealing with a 3-story walk-up, you've got your regular fog nozzle. If you're in a situation where you're using the Cleveland load with low pressure, or that you've got obstructions in your fog nozzle, you can take the fog nozzle off, and now you've got a solid tip. Still maintaining close to 500 liters per minute at maybe 350 kPa at the nozzle. So a big difference. You'll notice we've also changed the straps on the Cleveland load. The present straps just aren't holding it that well, so we're going to move all these Velcro straps into service. We will have spare ones kept in the captain's office. They're really inexpensive, so if they're lost or anything, it's not a big deal. But again, they hold the pack so much nicer. So the nozzles we've talked about, those are being added. We're also adding 3 more pieces of equipment to the high-rise bag. So each high-rise bag in each of the trucks are going to be outfitted with a 60-degree elbow. We're going to throw in a 65 mil inline pressure gauge and also a nozzle reducer to a 65. So the advantage of this device now is that if we're actually flowing water off of a 65 and we run out of room, we run out of hose, by threading on this adapter, we can now hook on another 65 to the end of it, or we can hook on our Cleveland load or anything else. So there's a couple of advantages, and on later videos we'll actually show you guys how this works. One thing we are going to have to ask you guys to be really diligent on is we need to protect these threads. If you kind of zoom in and take a look at the 65, one of the 45s on the Cleveland load, you'll see how the threads are all kind of beat to shit. And that's going to cause some problems if we have to hook that onto something and it's not going to thread properly. So by having these thread protectors on this reducer and also on the nozzles, that will protect the thread so we always have a good solid connection. The elbow and the inline gauge are going to be put in the kit together. So that will protect the elbow gauge, or the elbow threads. And then again, we've got a cap on the inline gauge to protect the threads there. Alright? So the elbow is in use in that if you're in a standpipe cabinet and it's a bad angle, you can add that on. Your pressure gauge now gives that firefighter at the standpipe an idea of what the pressure is through the system.